Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today is August 7th. I'm setting this to release in a few days. I just read The Forged Coupon. Just want to talk about it. But first, I've been listening to this song all day, bro. Banger. So this book, my uncle gave to me because I told him that I read The Metamorphosis, and he thought that Kafka was a Russian author, and he said, well, I have this other Russian old book that I like a lot. This is in fact a Russian old book, and I thought it was great, actually. The book was released in like 1890 or something like that. Let me look. I don't know if it's written. Like late 1800s. And it was phenomenal. I loved it. Pretty much the basis is that it's following the actions. So it's in Orthodox Russia, and it's following the actions of a spiral of actions that follow. Man, I'm just keeping saying actions. It follows a bunch of events following one dishonest action, is what it is. So it's the ripple effect of two children forging a coupon, which money was coupons. At that time, it was very common in that region. Great book, honestly. Like, it's got me like, I was driving, and there's this lady tailgating me immediately after I read this. I'm driving home from the park where I read it. I read most of it standing in the water in a lake. Like, I was just standing at some lake at the Conservation Society, and I was just chilling. And I read it all in like 2 hours. Dude, these short reads get me like beautiful. They get me perfect because I can't do the long story. I can't do it. I'll get distracted and something else will happen. And like, there's certain longer books that I've loved, that I've read. Like, I have Farewell to Arms here. I didn't even finish it, bro. Farewell, you can't really see. It's the Farewell to Arms, though. I didn't finish it because I associated it too much with my ex-girlfriend. And then we broke up, and I was in despair. This was like a year or something ago. Like a year and a half. No, like a year going a month or something. And I was in despair, and I didn't want to keep reading it. But anyways, like, that book was great, but I didn't I probably made it like 200 pages or so. Same thing with I always forget the name, and it makes me so mad because it's a World War I book about German soldiers. There's a really famous movie on it. It's literally like the most famous war book to exist. And I don't even know. I was about to say Brave New World. Like, what? Anyways, sorry. Back to the topic. I'm trying to decide if I want to spoil the books in these series, like where I'm talking about books. So, pretty much though, I'm gonna spoil it. Okay. So here's what happens. These kids forge a coupon. The forged coupon leads a guy to get imprisoned and become a drunkard, and then he does a bunch of stuff that causes, he pretty much gets into like stealing horses, and well, I mean, he gets into more minor stuff first, and he gets into stealing horses. Steals the horse from this guy who just got laid off of his job because they thought that he was the one that stole the horse, or whatever, something along those lines. He got laid off for something wrong, right? And he just got out of the military, and he beat him to death with a rock. And then after that, he got sent to jail. In jail, he starts to kind of lose it, and he's like a fine guy before. And then this is like the most summer. Like, there's so many more details. After he gets out of jail, he just starts killing people, and then it kind of goes full circle. But anyways, what happens is he's about to kill this lady, and she's like one of those like saint women. Like, reading the stuff about her, I'm like, man, could be wife. She would be wife. You know, it's tragic, bro. It's tragic what they've done to our society. Anyways, Like one of those like perfect, very merciful redemption, like just a godly woman. And he's like, he kills her family members and he's about to kill her, and she's like, why are you doing this? Like, you're destroying souls. And he gets sent to prison and he's haunted by it. And then he learns about the Bible, and then he teaches it to other people, gets redeemed. It's like some Saul type stuff, you know, where he gets redeemed and then his redemption is like proof to everyone, like, yo, this is real, bro, this is real, because everyone watches him change completely, you know. And then following that, there's a spiral of good things, because, well, some people learn about the gospel and then they have an impact, and it keeps spiraling, you know. And phenomenal read, honestly. I do like these ideas of like ripple effects with your actions, because people just hate to think about it, which is the truth, you know. People do hate to think about it, but you affect a lot of people with the way that you are. And this was a realization I had, and this was like why I was like, I have to be better, like maybe a year and a half ago or something, was I realized how many people I influence. Especially, this has just been reaffirmed this year. I know that I influence a lot of people for whatever reason, right? I don't know if they relate to me or what, but people take up the actions that I take up, and I have to live a righteous life because of that, because if I don't, I'm leading people to bad, you know. Which you see happen in this book as well, that people are bad leaders and they lead people to bad decisions. But I like it because it's like a ripple effect on the community, you know. It's like focused on a smaller community because it's like tiny towns in Russia, and that's like what you're actually impacting with your life, is the community. Christ is king, bro. Sometimes I want to cry because I'm like, damn, God is so good, you know. You'd understand if you're a Christian. No, but great book, telling of redemption, telling of ripple effects within communities. It was a little hard to follow with the names. Maybe it's because I'm not familiar with the names, but the names were like extremely long, Russian traditional names, and it was just like kind of hard to. It didn't even say like, it wouldn't say like, this guy is this person. Like there was a few times like there was the lame tailor, right? But then everything else was like Petr, I think it's supposed to be Peter, now that I think about it. Nikoliach. You know? It's just like names like that. Vasily. Vidensky. Mislian. Smokonovic, Smokonovikov, you know, like it was just a little bit hard to follow with that stuff. I'm sure it's much easier when you're well acquainted with Russian names and stuff, and I'm sure that they read better in Russian as well. It's all translated, but yeah, I just thought it was great. It was application of base Christian principles, talking about how people should live with them and stuff. And also talks about lukewarm Christianity which was the Eastern Orthodox Church at that time, because it was very governmental and stuff, and people get imprisoned for denying it. Never mind. But it really covers lukewarm religion and fake ethics, and then a reawakening in a bunch of individuals, and how that effect goes to a bunch of people through example, through directly impacting people's lives and stuff. It was very interesting, you know. Bro, as time goes on, I think less and less of the institutional church, you know. I think it's terrible, some of the stuff that happens with it, you know. Like, it really is God and not religion, bro. It really is. And this book just kind of covers what happens when you have the society engrossed in religion, especially when people are like illiterate on a large scale, which is what we saw with Catholics as well, with the whole purgatory deal, right? Discussing that the people are illiterate, and then they have no clue what's going on, and then government's like, no, it says you have to do this, and everyone's like, all right, I guess. It's like, get my grandma out of purgatory, please. You know, it's just a terrible thing that goes on. So I love that discussion. Yeah, there's a lot of like covering of ethics and people's perspectives and stuff like that, and talking about how people shift in their understanding of groups of people, right? So this guy owns a farm, and after his horses get stolen, like, he's very fair to the people, right? Keeps them well fed, gives them good food. He's a very nice man. After his horses get stolen, he starts to hate the peasant class more and more, and then it gets to a point where it gets like, he gets killed and stuff, you know? Because he's like fighting with them and all this, you know? There's interesting coverage and morals. Also, I like this one part. When the guy kills these people, he thinks to himself, it's so amazing how I could do that so well and never have anyone have any clue. But then when he develops morals, even without God, just when he sees that lady and he kills her, and he thinks like, man, I really don't have to do this stuff, and he breaks out of it. And he gets this realization that like, yo, internal morals? What? You know? Like that there's like, even without religion, doesn't matter if there's just the government. He just realized, he broke out of sociopathy, is what I'm trying to say. And I just thought that was a great thing. I also like it that they say that this one imported executioner is a sodomite. I was like, based. Based terminology. But yeah, no. Great book, very short. Very nice. I'd highly recommend it. A little bit against Eastern Orthodoxy, which I can agree with. You know, I'm just against religion overall. Just only God. That being said, I do have this icon right here. Yeah, but this is the book. I don't know if I've shown it. The Forged Coupon by Tolstoy. Also a lot of emphasis on charity, which is literally like the greatest thing ever. Like, I like it that it wouldn't talk that much about how people are sinning in their own lives. I mean, it mentioned it, but it was mostly about how people are affecting others, which is like the most important thing ever, right? Like, you could live a very righteous life but not be charitable, but cheat others and stuff like that, and not be a forgiving good person, and it's not gonna be good, you know? And I just like it that the emphasis wasn't like, well, this guy prayed every day. It was like, this dude just gave all of his fortune. One of the guys stole like 500,000 rubles and gave them to 14 unmarried women to go pay off their debts and find a husband. Which I was like, extremely based. But man, bro, every time I read old literature, I'm just like, bro, society sounds so nice, dude. You're just rolling through town on your horse, chilling with the boys, you know, and everyone's like real, and there's like actually different personalities, and people like have real thought, you know. I think that the evil man was less evil and the good man was more good in the past. I really do. I'm a strong believer in that. Moral relativism really did well on us, bro. It really did. Yeah, but overall, give this book like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I just love books that I can like think about, like, wow, this is like my life. You know, like, I don't. That's why I can't read like some new literature, bro. Like, my sister's reading some book that just got released, and I'm like, never mind, I'm not gonna say that. But I said something about a quota that they're probably meeting. But also, it's just like, I don't understand. It's like the comparison of reading a new good book and reading an old good book is that the old good book has been considered good for 100 years, bro. And this book is accepted by the retards of today's society, you know? So, like, I will do a review on the one new book that I like, Diary of an Oxygen Thief, which I read, like, last year. It was, like, a few months ago that I finished it. Oh, All Quiet on the Western Front is the World War One book that I was talking about. Bruh. Alright. That's it. A short video. I'm gonna review every book that I read and tell them about my thoughts and stuff after. Just so that I could have it saved, you know, and what if someone's like, oh, what about this book? Yeah, but then I just spoil it. So, appreciate the listen.